Russian troops surrounded Kyiv on three sides today as Ukrainians pledged to defend their capital city. Amid fears the battle could involve intense gunfights in streets, heavy casualties, and potentially far-reaching consequences that escalate the worst crisis Europe has seen for decades still further. Satellite images showed a 3.25-mile-long deployment of Russian forces advancing on Kyiv on today, as attacks to the northwest of the capital and an attempted incursion into the eastern city of Kharkiv were both repelled. In the southern coastal regions, the Russian military appeared to be gaining strength, and there were signs of a change in tactics as missile strikes were deployed against fixed targets. There have been several days of heavy fighting in the area since Russia staged an airborne landing of forces in the nearby Hostomel military airport. 3 bridges in the area have been reportedly blown up by Ukrainian forces to slow down the Russian advance. In an interview with Associated Press, the capital's mayor, Vitaly Klitschko, appeared to say that the city had been encircled, though this was later clarified by his press team, who said Klitschko was speaking figuratively, and that Kyiv wasn't literally blocked. Routes to the south remained free on Sunday. Klitschko separately said there were no Russian troops in the capital itself. He said that 9 civilians, 18 fighters, and 4 unidentified persons had been killed in the capital since the start of fighting on February 24. A total of 106 had been injured, 46 of whom were civilians. Ukraine remained in control of Chernihiv, northeast of Kyiv, but Russian mechanized forces bypassed the city as they headed south, according to British Defense Intelligence, which has been monitoring the conflict closely. Satellite images showed a large, 3.25-mile-long deployment of forces in a convoy northeast of Ivankiv, moving in the direction of Kyiv approximately 40 miles to the south. The convoy contains fuel, logistics, and armored vehicles. Russian forces west of Sumy were still making progress westward, according to the military intelligence group Rakhan Consulting, and were believed to be about 150 kilometers east of Kyiv on Monday night and likely to advance further on Tuesday. There were also signs of a switch in tactics, with Russia more actively targeting fixed infrastructure with missile attacks. An oil terminal was set ablaze in Vasilkiv, nearly 40 kilometers southwest of Kyiv. The blast sent huge flames and billowing black smoke into the night sky. Russian Iskander ballistic missiles were fired from Belarus at around 5 p.m., Ukraine's Interior Ministry said. Earlier in the day, the president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, confirmed that more missiles had been fired from the country, as he hinted that Belarus's own forces would join the war on the Russian side. An incursion by Russian forces into the eastern city of Kharkiv on Sunday was defeated, the Ukrainians said, by lunchtime, a verdict largely confirmed by reporters on the ground. The attack by Russian Spetsnaz special forces appeared not particularly determined, with social media images showing the invaders only using trucks and lightly armored vehicles rather than battle tanks. The city's governor, Ola Syniehubov, said that Russian troops were giving themselves up, and images appeared on social media apparently showing captured Russian troops. Dozens had surrendered, city authorities said, suggesting a low degree of organization and morale on the Russian side. The Russian military continued to make progress in the south, aided by its naval superiority in the Sea of Azov and the Black Sea. Ukrainian defense sources said that Russian forces captured part of Kherson, the city at the mouth of the Dnieper River. Russia's defense ministry said it had blockaded Kherson and also Berdyansk, on the Sea of Azov. Video emerged of a Russian Buk missile system, the type that shot down Malaysian Airlines flight MH17 in 2014, which was geolocated to Berdyansk. Russia also said it had taken control of an airbase between Kherson and Henichesk, a city on the Sea of Azov. Although Mariupol, close to the Russian border, remained in Ukrainian hands, Russia is believed to have created a land corridor that connects the nearby self-proclaimed republics in Luhansk and Donetsk to the Crimea by going around the city. Russian forces were also reported to have reached the eastern side of the Dnieper River. Turkey, saying the fighting in Ukraine amounted to a war, vowed to implement the Montreux Convention, allowing it to close access to the Black Sea to Russian warships, although an exemption applies to ships returning to base. Ukraine still appears able to conduct limited air operations, much to the surprise of Western military analysts who had expected a determined and far larger Russian air force to have destroyed Ukrainian planes almost immediately. Meanwhile, tonight it became known that the NATO countries began the transfer of various types of weapons to the territory of Ukraine. At the moment, it is known that a military convoy crossed the border, which brought anti-tank missiles and missile systems, man-portable air defense systems, small arms, ammunition, etc. to Ukraine. According to official data, tonight a group of several trucks crossed the Polish-Ukrainian border and delivered a large number of weapons and ammunition to the territory of Ukraine. The same information was confirmed in Lithuania, noting that protective equipment, helmets, body armor, and various weapons were delivered to Ukraine. Despite the fact that the Russian side has not made official statements on this matter, at the moment the actions of the NATO countries should be regarded as an attempt to resist Russia. However, according to analysts, the situation can even be qualified as an attempt at aggression. This could lead to extremely undesirable consequences for NATO. It should be noted that in the near future, the Netherlands also plans to supply its weapons to Ukraine. We are talking about 400 anti-aircraft missile systems,